Welcome to Vhils Haze. This solo exhibition covers the work of Portuguese street artist Alexandre Farto, who goes by the name Vhils. Vhils grew up in 1990s Lisbon, Portugal. His father was an activist who took part in the Carnation Revolution of 1974, a civil war that resulted in democratic change for Portugal. The artwork Vhils makes is about the city, how it is influenced by human activity, and how we as people are shaped by it. Let's take a look at the art installation Diagramma, which is sculpted out of polystyrene foam. From this view, this almost looks like a city skyline, with buildings clustered together. Notice the layers of blocks, which give the buildings an almost abstract quality. What do you notice? Do you see anything else here besides skyscrapers? Think about when you were young, when you looked at clouds to find shapes. We'll have a chance to look at this installation from another angle in a bit. This multi-sensory installation is called Gamut. This work uses multiple programmed television sets with black acrylic sheets stenciled over the screens. All of the televisions display excerpts from news shows, YouTube videos, advertisements, and TV shows simultaneously. The audio is choppy and often hard to understand. Notice the colors, textures, and the patterns. Notice the movements and patterns on different screens. Do you feel your eye jumping from one screen to the next? What do you notice? It feels a little jarring, doesn't it? As viewers, we are made to feel overwhelmed. This piece speaks to the bombardment of information we receive every day on social media, on the news, and in our emails. Vhils also made this as an homage to the city street, to the sights, sounds, movements, and chaos, and to the memories they evoke. Notice how the text and shapes overlap each other like billboards. Vhils says when he was little, there was a big push to paste posters all over the walls as an attempt to beautify the city. He noticed the buildup of layers of paper over each other. He said that walls have memories. The layers of posters drew his attention to activist murals. When he was 13 years old, Vhils got his start as a graffiti artist spray painting on the walls. Eventually, he became interested in exposing the layers of surface material on walls and buildings. He was interested in the history of those walls, and he is most known for murals like this wall piece here, which is part of a global project called Scratching the Surface. Vhils has created over 250 pieces in multiple cities across the globe. He often creates portraits of local people in the city where he makes the work. His working process is what he likes to call creative destruction. He often uses spray paint and chisels and jackhammers to carve into the wall. Those pieces are an attempt to humanize local spaces and often speak to local issues like urban renovation and displacement of lower income residents. This new work is called Identity. The video shows how Vhils created this work using a technique involving dynamite to explode and carve out chunks of the wall. The explosives were embedded into a custom-built brick wall. This is the first piece Vhils has created using explosives in an indoor gallery. The video is recorded in slow motion, showing every detail of the explosion. Standing in this room, you may even feel the floor vibrate from the sound of the explosion in the video. We can even get up pretty close to the wall and see the divots from the explosion. Can you see the debris around the edge of the walls? What does the word identity mean to you? What do you think it means to have a shared identity? Do you think a shared identity changes over time? The explosives Vhils often uses in his work act as a metaphor for society in times of turmoil. According to the artist, the balance of civilization can be very fragile. In crisis, ugly things can emerge from a society, such as extremism or intolerance. Let's take another look at the Diagramma installation from this viewpoint. What does it look like to you? What do you notice about these shapes? How is it different than before? As you look at this image from above, you may begin to see faces. One of the themes Vhils is most interested in is the idea of reciprocal shaping. Think of how you have a conversation with someone, how you and the other person may start to mirror back some of the same body postures or facial expressions. Vhils believes our character is shaped by the city in which we live, just as we shape the character of our city. This last installation is called Tainted. The artist first started working with old recycled doors about 10 years ago. Think about the significance these doors hold as discarded objects. Do they have a different significance in an exhibition space? Vhils' use of recycled material relates to his artistic process of creation and destruction, which becomes a cycle of rebirth. As we go through these doors, notice the faces on each one. These are anonymous portraits of people from all over the world, including some from Cincinnati. Notice the artist's reverent attention to detail in these portraits. What significance do these strangers hold for you as a viewer? How might the lives of these people be related? Each door tells a story, both of the recycled door and its subject. Are there metaphorical doors in your life that shape your own story? How is your story shaped by the shared history of your community?